Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to learn how to make this pretty crochet top. For this you need yarn of your choice. I'm using 100% cotton yarn and a hook. I'm using a 3mm hook for this video. So to begin with, as you can see in the first diagram, we are going to make two panels. So we're going to make two long separate panels, and in the second diagram, as you can see, we are going to stitch them together and we are going to leave a neck hole and the armholes. So we're going to fold the two panels equally and we're going to stitch them together in the middle and on the sides as well. I'll also be clearly showing you where to stitch once both our panels are done. So to begin with, we're first going to make a slip knot. If you don't know how to make a slip knot, I have a separate detailed video for the same. I'll be linking it in the description box below. So once we're done making a slip knot, we are now going to chain 4. So we are going to make a foundation chainless double crochet row. For that, we're going to chain 4 first. And now we are going to yarn over and insert a hook in the very first chain. Now we are going to yarn over, pull through. We'll be left with 3 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop first. Again, we'll be left with 3 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Now these are our 2 double crochets, and now we're going to continue doing this. We're going to yarn over, insert a hook in the very first chain, yarn over, pull through. We'll be left with 3 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. So this makes our chain. And now we yarn over, pull through 2 loops and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert in the very first stitch like that. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through. We'll have 3 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. That's our chain. Now we'll make a double crochet by yarn over and pulling through 2 loops and 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert the hook in the very first chain, yarn over, pull through, very carefully. Now yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert in the very first stitch, yarn over, pull through. We'll have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. So this is how we are going to continue making a chainless double crochet row. So now the length of the row depends upon the length of the required top. So if you want a top which is 20 inches long, you're going to make a row which is 40 inches long. So you just have to multiply the required length into 2, and that's how long this row should be. Now I am just going to continue making my row and I'll see you once I'm done. Now here I'm done with making my first row. I've made it 40 inches long, and now we are going to make our second row. For that we simply have to chain 3. So this is 1, 2 and 3. Now this chain 3 will be counted as our first double crochet. We have to turn our work around And now we're going to make another double crochet in the next stitch. So we are going to yarn over, skip one stitch, and in the next stitch we are going to make one double crochet. So we are skipping that stitch as our chain 3 is going to be counted as our first double crochet. So this is our second double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over, insert our hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now we'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. So this is our third double crochet. Now we're going to make our fourth double crochet. So this row 2 is actually just one double crochet in each stitches. So I'm just going to keep doing this and I'll see you once I'm done. Here we are at the end of our row 2. We are just going to make these last double crochets. So we're just going to finish making the last double crochet so that we complete our row 2. Here is our second last double crochet, and that is going to be our last double crochet. So please make sure that you are crocheting in the very last stitch as well. If you cannot keep the count, please use stitch markers. So this is our last double crochet. Now again we are going to chain 3 and we will turn around our work and we're going to chain 1. Now we are going to yarn over and we are going to skip 2 stitches and we are going to make a double crochet in the third stitch from our hook. So that first chain 3 will be counted as our first double crochet, then we chain 1 and make another double crochet in the third stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 again and we're going to skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch we are going to make 1 double crochet. Now again we are going to chain 1 and yarn over, skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch we are going to make 1 double crochet. Again we are going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch and make another double crochet in the next stitch. So this is basically our row 3. We make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and make another double crochet in the next stitch. So alternate stitches we're going to make double crochets, and in between we are going to chain 1. So I'm just going to continue doing this and I'll see you once I'm done. And now we are at the end of our third row. So we are just going to make our last few stitches. This is a double crochet. We are going to chain 1 and make another double crochet in that first chain 3, like in the topmost chain of that chain 3. You have to be very careful and you don't have to miss the last stitches, otherwise the edges will be not even. Now we are going to chain 3. Now of course this chain 3 will be counted as our first double crochet as usual. After chaining 3 we are going to turn around our work, and now we are going to make a double crochet in that chain 1 space. Now we are going to make another double crochet on top of that double crochet, like that. Now we'll make a double crochet in that chain 1 space. Now one on top of that double crochet. So our row 4 is going to be all double crochets on top of each double crochets and also in the chain 1 space. Now I'm just going to continue doing this and I'll see you at the end of the row. Now we are at the end of our row 4 and we are going to make those last few stitches. So on top of the double crochet. Now between those 2 double crochets, that is in the chain 1 space. And now one in the topmost chain of that chain 3 over there. Now we are done with our row 4. And now for our row 5 we are going to chain 3 again. This chain 3 is obviously going to be counted as our first double crochet. And now I'm going to make another double crochet in the next chain. So we are going to skip one stitch and in the next stitch we are going to make a double crochet. Now we will make another double crochet in the next stitch. Now our row 5 is basically all double crochets, so 1 double crochet in each stitch. And now we are going to make 4 total such rows of double crochets. So like this is our 5th row, our 6th and 7th row will again be all double crochets. So in total we need 4 such rows of double crochets before we make a row of 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. So I am just going to continue making these rows. I'll make 4 total rows of such double crochets and I'll see you once I'm done. Now here we are at the end of our 7th row and we have made a total of 4 such rows of double crochets. We are going to make the few stitches which are left for our row 7. So that is just double crochets. Do not forget the last stitch. Please do use stitch markers if you cannot figure out the last stitch. And this is how it should look like once done. And now we are going to repeat the row 3. You can see the chain, the double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. We're going to repeat that row. For that we're going to chain 3 and we're going to turn our work and we'll make 1 more chain. So this chain 3 is our first double crochet and we are going to make 1 more chain like that. And now we are going to make a double crochet in the 3rd stitch from our hook. Now we are again going to chain 1 and we are going to skip 1 stitch and in the next stitch we are going to make a double crochet. Now again we are going to make 1 chain and we'll skip 1 stitch and make another double crochet in the next stitch. So we are basically just repeating our row 3 and this is the whole pattern. Now after completing this row, we are again going to make 4 rows of double crochets, and again the next row will be this row. So a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, again chain 1, double crochet. This is going to be the row, and again after that we are going to make 4 more rows of double crochets. So this is the whole pattern. And of course our last row should be 2 rows of double crochets, not 4, as our first 2 rows were double crochets. Our last 2 rows are going to be double crochets. And as for the width of the top, whatever the width of the top you want, so you just measure the width, and whatever the width you want, you have to divide it by 4, and that will be the width of this one panel. So if you want the width of your top to be 40 inches, then the width of your one panel should be 10 inches. Now I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll see you once I'm done. So here, as you can see, I have completed both my panels and I've folded into half. And now we are just going to attach them from the middle and of course from the sides as well. And we are going to leave some space, and that will be our neck hole and our armholes. I'll just show you how to attach them now. So I'm using the invisible stitch so that there is no edging. So this is how we have to hold it together, hold 2 panels together. And we are going to insert a needle in between 2 chains. So you can see that yarn in between 2 chains. We're going to insert a needle right over there. And we are going to pull through now. And I'm going to leave a small tail so that I can just weave in the ends. And now we're going to do the same thing on our second panel. So we'll find the yarn in between 2 chain stitches, and we are going to insert our tapestry needle right in between 2 chain stitches and pull through. Like that. Now again we are going to go to our first panel, and we're going to insert a needle in between the next 2 chain stitches. So you can see that yarn, we're going to insert a needle right between the next 2 chain stitches, and we're going to carefully pull through. Now we are going to do the same thing on our second panel. Insert our needle right in between the next 2 chain stitches like that and pull through. Again on our first panel we are going to insert our needle in between 2 chain stitches like that, and we will pull through. We have to be very careful while doing that. As we have taken long strings, it might be confusing at times, but you carefully just have to do it. Now moving on to the second panel, again we are going to do the same thing. Now this technique of joining any 2 panels is known as an invisible join. So I basically use invisible joins to join all my garments. So this won't leave any harsh seam. Even for blankets I use this for joining the granny squares. I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'm going to join everything that needs to be joined, and I'll see you once I'm done. Now I'm just here to show you how invisible join works wonderfully, and it doesn't leave any harsh seam. So I'm just in between of joining the two panels, and you can see that how beautifully, how seamlessly it has joined both the panels. Once we join everything that needs to be joined, our top is going to be ready. Thanks for watching my video. If you do like my video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Happy crocheting!